Hi, Mark Beatty here. You join me for my fourth key video on how to help your organisation to be more creative and more innovative. And today's video is focused on a culture of intelligent failure, a very key aspect of how we encourage creativity and innovation. So why is this sometimes a problem at work? What could we possibly do differently? So the famous jazz musician Miles Davis once said, "Do not fear mistakes, there are none." And whilst this may be true when it comes to jazz improvisation and collaboration, I guess many of us probably don't feel that way when it comes to ideas, suggestions and being creative and innovative at work, where quite quickly it can very much feel like there is a wrong answer, a wrong suggestion or a wrong idea. But why do we need to be more open to intelligent failure? Well, primarily is one of moving away from ta-da, we got it all right first time ways of thinking of innovating, to ones of moving towards experimentation, prototyping, minimally viable products, getting something out of the box that works and then gradually building upon that. If we don't have an open-minded approach to taking intelligent risks and accepting intelligent failure, then this prototyping and experimentation can become very difficult. So what can we learn to do a little bit differently? Well, there's a couple of things, I think three major areas. The first thing we can do is understand the difference in risk that comes at the front end of innovation, the exploration, the curiosity, the finding of new options and ideas, versus the risk that comes at the far end of the innovation process when it comes to applying, implementing or making real our innovation. There's often not much risk around ideas, but of course there can be when it comes to implementation. So one of the simplest things that we can do as leaders is to recognize, encourage lots of exploration, different ideas and taking intelligent risks at the beginning of the process where great ideas might be found, but become more thoughtful about those risks towards the end when greater mistakes might cost much greater for the company or the organization. The second thing that we can do is start to recognize that a key element of the innovation process is it's a journey. Encourage your employees, your colleagues to work with you in a journey of finding the right answer rather than winner takes it all, get the answer right first time, every time. The third thing that we need to do and to take into account is to maybe adjust some of our language and adjust some of our focus. If you have a natural tendency to want to try and find who's wrong, who's to blame, why was there a failure and who can we pin it upon, chances are we're not going to learn very much. Moving our mindset and our language to one of moving forwards, picking through failures and issues and learning from them, chances are we'll develop a much more supportive, much more open-minded culture. I leave you with one final thought, which would be from the famous inventor, the famous entrepreneur, Thomas Edison, who was once asked, "Are you not really disappointed at how you failed so many times to find the right filament for a light bulb?" He rather glibly and rather wittily quickly replied, "I didn't fail, I had 10,000 successful experiments of how to find the right answer." So this video was about intelligent risk and acceptance of intelligent failure, and I decided that perhaps the best way to deliver that was within the noisy environments of a busy commuter railway station. I hope you can hear me, and I'll be back next time to discover and talk about a very similar area, that of how to reduce blame culture. Until then.